Well, hello boys and girls. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Because I'm not going to be able to hear you saying hello back. Well, it's good to see you anyway. Well, that doesn't work either, does it? That's just a bit silly because I can't see you. Hopefully you can see me on the video. So it's great to be able to come and see you like this. So it's a big shout out to Southmuir Primary School and Tannadice Primary School, because this message is going to both of you. But we know which one's better, don't we? Anyway, it's the end of term again, and although it might seem odd that we're not at school or in the church to have our end of term service, it's great to be able to share this service with you and to be able to share something of the Easter story. A big shout out to everybody who's been looking after you and to the teachers and carers who've been working extra hard to make sure you have everything you need. They'll be looking forward to a rest, and so it's good to be at the end of this session, at the end of this term, and to share some, well, I hope some good news for you. We know the Easter story. We know it's all about Easter bunnies and Easter eggs and chicks and chocolate or flowers. But we also know as well, don't we, because we've heard the story quite often, that it's about a person called Jesus. It's about his story, about the time that he was killed on a cross, which is the sad part of the story, and when he was raised from the dead by God. And that's the joyful part of the story. And that's the good news that we get to share with everyone at Easter. But I want to tell you today about a different part of the Easter story. And this happens just after those events. Just about the same time and just after. Jesus had lots of friends who followed him around to learn what he had to teach, to see what he had to do, to see how they should live with one another. Those friends, those particular friends, women and men, were called disciples. And his disciples, after Jesus was killed, got very scared because they thought that if people saw that they were part of Jesus' friends, then they would be in trouble too. So they hid themselves away at home. They didn't want to go out. They were scared. Even when some women came and told them that they'd seen Jesus again, they still didn't believe them. They still didn't want to go out. They were too scared to do anything. But then Jesus himself appeared to them. And they realised that what the women had said was true. And they were a bit more enthusiastic. But Jesus said to them, "Now's not the right time to go out. Not quite yet, because there's more to do." That might sound a little bit like the time we're in just now, when we're not allowed out. We're not allowed out to play with friends or just generally run around. And so this holiday time is going to be a bit odd, isn't it? But it's all for a very good reason. It's all to keep us safe. And it's all to keep other people safe as well. So it's a good thing to do, to stay at home just now and not go out when we don't have to. Jesus' disciples had to wait for the right time. And because Jesus had appeared to them and told them to wait, and they saw that Jesus was alive, they realised that everything Jesus had told them was true, and that everything that Jesus was teaching them was the right thing to do. And so when it came time for them to go out, they realised that to help one another, to help others, to love their neighbours, to care for the world around them, these were all the right things to do, and it suddenly became the right time to do them. I hope that when it's time for you to get back out into the world, to play with friends, to see your neighbours, to go and do all the things that you love doing outside, you remember that it's good to care for each other, because we've been separated from one another, and it's great to see each other. But more importantly, it's good to care, as we've been doing by staying at home. It's also good to care when we do get back out and we look after our friends and our neighbours, and we love the world, and we value those who do all these important jobs for us. That's the message that Jesus had. There comes a time when we know that this is the right thing to do, and there'll be a time for us to do the right things, to care for people, to care for the world around us. So that's another part of the Easter story, and one I hope that you realise is very much something for us in this time, in this day. Shall we finish with a little prayer? Loving God, thank you for your message of love from Jesus. Thank you for the right time to share that love, which is whenever we're out, whenever we're with others, whenever we see someone in need. Help us be a caring and kind person, not just at this moment, but at all times. For Jesus' sake. Amen.